Welcome to the Bold Analysis. Recently, one of our subscribers here challenged me with a question saying that, Kevin, what normally happens with us government, with those who hold the office of interior security in this country? And he just jabbed my mind by asking me, look at just back then the days. Oduor Saitoti passed on in some mysterious, in an air crash. The most recent one, Nkaiseri, also passed on. Now this one, we now had the only surviving one, now I think in the 20th century, CS Fred Matian'gi. It was, I felt it was taking it too far. Because I was like, bro, why are we going there? Now it was in the context of the first purported raid at CS Matian'gi's home. Today, the 15th of February, it has finally been done. And so, it was the long run. In this video, I want us to look at the events of the day and how this was, what exactly transpired. And from there, we can also make we're also going to look at it in terms of what exactly is at stake. What is at stake? Kindly subscribe to our channel. I also want to humbly request you that you share our videos. And when you click the notification bell, after subscribing, whenever we publish a video, you will be notified. And wale ambao wanasemanga sijaona hii video, sijaona ile video, you'll be seeing and also share more from us. Now, there was, according to what I was reading, the DCA says they were investigating a case of an alleged attempted robbery contrary to Section 297 of the Penal Code as per the allegation in the public domain, which was necessitated making the subject of the application. And remember, on February 9th, when that information broke up, when that information circulated in social media, there was an information of attempted raid, of rather that they wanted to arrest Matian'gi, but that was not, it did not come to fruition. Actually, it collapsed at one point. So the next day, there was high-profile denial on every other sector, every other person saying that no one wanted to arrest Matian'gi. Now, because of that investigation on alleged attempted robbery, the DCA went to court. And I think it was part of the investigation. And they wanted to seek orders that manager of AMSEC Security Services, which mans Dr. Matian'gi's home, to hand over CCTV footage for the period of between 6 a.m. February 8th to 11 p.m. February 9th. That will help them to maybe do that investigation. Now, it further wants the manager directed to serve its detectives with a certificate of production of electronic evidence at the CCTV footage. And I think for that, they just wanted to, what was formed is that they are investigating an attempted robbery. I don't know who is the complainant, by the way. I don't know. I don't know whether it's the complainant, or whether the state the complainant, it's the investigation, it's the investigator, and I don't know. Or rather, who is the accused? That is, I don't know, because as to what we understand, Matian'gi never reported anything to the police as far as attempted robbery is concerned. But now that was the premise that police formed after they, of course, they came out to explain that they were not behind the purported raid. And even me, I joined those who are asking the CS to provide that evidence, provide that CCTV footage. And with a premise that maybe it was aided from within, of course, that was not going to be possible. Now, those orders, the court declined to grant them the orders, and instead, the magistrate ordered the matter to be mentioned on March 7th, and both the parties are ordered all to go to court, be present in court, so that they will have cross both sides cross-examine each other. And I think about that. Prior to it, Matian'gi's lawyers had demanded that in any event that that was to be done, then it has to include both the other. Matian'gi has to be presented by the lawyer so that they make sure that the process is waterproof. Now, after the courts declined to grant, what will then come later is that a contingent of officers went to Matian'gi's home. I have looked at the interview. I think Citizen was there. I don't know why the Citizen guys are normally on standby about this thing. The security guy, the watchman, is saying when they arrived, I think he rang the bell to alert of their presence, but they walimchukua wakamweka kwa boot. That's what he's saying. Then you get kasimama hapo. Then they rammed through the gate, and within some time, took some time, then they left. And according to Dunstan Omari, the police officers only retreated after the media and lawyers arrived. Matian'gi was not at home at that time. So, however, it seems the end game, and we say that wakitaka kushika Matian'gi watamshika tu. As in, if they want to do the raid, they will do it. But for me, that was my position, that nothing can stop them. But I've been wondering, Matian'gi said there was raid. There was no raid. He went to court. He got anticipatory bail that was stopping the state from arresting him. And after that, we saw the officers, now the investigating agencies, pursuing the narrative that there was false information on that, and so there was no raid. And so what they're trying to cleanse is the fact that no one wanted to arrest Matian'gi. So there is bit of escalation of this issue just to clean and to show that there was no raid at Matian'gi's home, even after all of them coming up to deny. And I'm wondering, now that thing happened on February 9th. Even if you are to come up with, how are you going to look at the CCTV and show as evidence that there is no evidence in the CCTV? Because you cannot show the whole country the 9-minute CCTV. Or maybe you will show us time, between that time, what happened, what lawyers. I think what is here is the CCTV is to show, one, that nothing happened. And of course, I can tell you that when that CCTV will be out, it will be shown to the public. Of course, it will be shown to the public. Now, can it be a ground to arrest Matian'gi? I am just trying to think through this. What is the pursuit? If the officers successfully convince the public, and of course they win the case that there was no such a raid, then would it be a ground for them to challenge the anticipatory bail that was given on Matian'gi? Because I'm asking, the only gain that Matian'gi got from the said raid could be two. Maybe one is sympathy, population sympathy. There were some leaders came in solidarity, Raila Odinga and the team. Then there was some small protests in the Kisii region about that matter, And then number two, it was a ground for him to get the anticipatory bail. So what he got from it is that being granted that as anticipatory bail that is preventing his arrest. Now, is it the ground? Is it the pursuit of challenging it? And that's why I'm making my promise here. I don't think it's about identifying whether it was true or false. The question of true and false cannot be answered now, because who's going to buy it? You're going to give us CCTV of what happened between the time that Matian'gi was saying there was a raid. The public say it is doctored. The lawyers will say it's not. So, I don't think the public is interested in whether it's true or false. For me, it's a bygone. But then, this could also be, do you think it could also be a pursuit of insiders who leaked the information to Matian'gi? Because the truth of the matter, and what was reported is that Matian'gi knew of his impending arrest. He knew that maybe the officers were going. And the theory that stands strong is that maybe there were insiders within the police that told him. They were insiders. So if in any case it could be that they want to find maybe leaked information, if something like that is going on, would be it will be a very good pursuit. But then we also don't want to be maybe one-sided. Let's think about it. How about if even the state was caught off guard by this? By the fact that if it was state managed, then who state managed? Now, if you get the CCTV footage and maybe there were some police officers here and there, you would actually know who are they, or find if it's some militia, it's some dark forces behind. It will also good to have an idea. Secondly, they're telling Matian'gi will arrest you. That's what Matian'gi should get, that we will arrest you. In fact, now going there broad daylight and now with the contingent of the police, people have always thought, and I remember that argument, that being a ranking member as a cabinet, that he could not be arrested or that cannot be affected. Now that is the communication. The messaging was that when the right time comes and when it could be affected, it could be done. Now, could this be a play to drag him to court by endless suits? Possibly. But lastly, maybe there was a plan to raid the home and it was botched. It didn't go through. So finally it has been affected. And perhaps the story ends there. Because the question here is, if magistrate said, servant, let's meet, he was not given those orders, and in fact, those orders were supposed to be executed by that company. They didn't have a representation of the company. So what exactly is going on? Is it a coincidence that Matian'gi was not home by then? Did he knew? That's my take, guys. Let's meet in the next analysis.